Yo, Big D back with a Super Bowl props DK showdown. Lord knows what's going to happen with my guest joining me tonight. Fanspeak contributor, content creator of Spread. Spread, you can see Spread with Tyler, Megan, Steve, and all the Fanspeak content creators doing all kinds of props, bets, showdown, Super Bowl content, where one of us is going to try and win $1 million this weekend.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It is a pretty fun showdown slate. But of course, the fun is the props. And, I said we have to go live right now, Dylan, because we were talking about our props and it felt like we were approaching this game in very similar fashion. So I said, we can't waste this great conversation off the air. We got to explore these props and explore these ideas here on the stream so everybody can see it.
Yeah, and in many ways, having a little bit of skin in the game is probably the best way to spend a Super Bowl Sunday. All teams are out, so what else are we going to do for 3.5 hours? Oh, wait, we're going to make bets.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, we'll be playing a little fantasy showdown slate too, but the showdown slate is interesting. I feel like I have a pretty good edge on showdown slates, but the Super Bowl, every angle feels like it's out there on the media. It doesn't feel like there's any hidden gems like you can normally find, right? Like on a normal Monday night or Sunday night showdown game. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do to get different on my showdown slate. Do you have, if you like a play and it's chalky, are you going to go ahead, or are you going to really force yourself to be different here when you're building your showdown lineups?
I think getting unique depends on what kind of a contest you play. If you're talking the Million Maker, I think getting unique is probably the only way you're not sharing with 880 of your closest friends and family. But if you're playing a single entry or 3 max, I think you can go different in 1 or 2 spots, but I don't think you have to go different everywhere because,
Yeah, that is a good point, right? If I want to go chalky, I should just do a single entry build, huh?
Yeah, because I think lineup construction for the 3 max, the 20 max is different than 150. Because if you're going to try and win the Million Maker, you're gonna need Phil Ivey Royal Flush.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of NBA DFS lately, and I've been preferring the single entry or the 3 entry max because I just feel like a lot of times you nail the right plays, but then someone with 150 hits the optimal with those same plays in their core, and if you're not running that many, sometimes those smaller entry fields can be better.
Yeah, I remember a showdown. I think it was Saints Rams a few years ago, and I played like a $3 or $5 showdown, and I like 30 or 50x my money.
All right, yeah, let's go for that this weekend here. So let's see what we can find. So we had talked a little bit before the show started about props. Do you want to dive right in, and do you want to do some Super Bowl props right now?
Yeah, what's a Super Bowl without props? Because their props are like how long the national anthem will go, what color Gatorade is in. Why bet on props? Is it just because we're bored? And it's the last football game, the last NFL game with significance for 7 months?
Well, here's why I would say I think that as you're playing the NFL, I think when you're creating your own numbers, like I do a real rudimentary model, by week 9 or 10, I'm getting pretty close to the lines on the board, right? I'm not getting those big 2 to 3 point edges there because we're all using the same data set. Our priors from before the season, right? They're slowly getting weeded out because each week that you advance in the NFL season, you lower the weight of your priors. Most people do on their model, right? Let's just say I thought that the Chargers were 5 points better than an average team before the season started, right? But then by week 8, we know like exactly where they are. We're not guessing anymore, and we're not making adjustments based off offseason moves and strength of schedule and things like that. So now you look at the Super Bowl and we see the line at 4.5 or 5. If you're doing a statistical projection, you're not going to find an edge. And there's only one game on the board, right? Like, for example, we talked about little NBA DFS earlier, but I love college basketball. And one of the reasons I like it is there are so many, I see Roman Reigns up in the chat. There's so many games on the board that you don't have to force a play, and I think that people don't want to force a play on the Super Bowl because I think the side and the total, the numbers are dialed in. And so now we look to the props because they put so many up. The chances of them making a mistake and us finding a line where we have a positive expected value is so much higher. But you know what? I think I kind of buried the lead here. Speaking of the side and the total, if you were to bet the side of this game, where are you? Seahawks minus 4.5, minus 5. What do you think?
I'm all on New England, not just to win, but not just to cover, but win outright. And I'm not sure it's close.
Tyler took the money line as well.
I'm not sure it's close. I'll tell you why. It's not because I think Sam Darnold's a bad quarterback. It's not because Mike Macdonald's a bad head coach. There are two reasons why I feel like New England's is going to win this game. One, New England's got a head coach and offensive coordinator with Super Bowl experience. Vrabel, of course, played in 3 or 4 of the Patriots. This is Josh McDaniels' 10th Super Bowl. So these guys are going to be so familiar with this game. Mike Macdonald's great. I mean, he's the defensive Sean McVay. But this is his first Super Bowl. And we've seen first-time head coaches have not necessarily done well. Sean McVay, anyone?
Yeah. Let me counter some of that real quick because I like the Seattle side. Technically, Vrabel doesn't have any experience as a head coach. He only has experience as a player. Of course, McDaniel's, head coaching or coordinator experience is going to help him a lot. But I think this simply comes down to Seattle being the better team. And I think that this defense is going to be like the 2001 Ravens defense that allowed Trent Dilfer to go ahead and raise that Super Bowl trophy. And the idea is if your defense is so good, your quarterback just needs to be serviceable and you can win. And we talked about it a little bit before we hit play to go live here, Dylan. I wasn't impressed by the strength of schedule that the Patriots played in order to get here, right? So the Chargers are a good, solid team, right? But when they lost both those tackles, I don't think that they're a real Super Bowl.
No, LA wasn't the same team without all of those Slater. Houston, well, CJ Stroud,
Houston has no offense, so it's like, of course, their defense looked good against them. Their defense looked good against everybody. And then that Denver game was a toss-up against a backup quarterback. And I would argue that if that blizzard didn't come in, there's a good chance that Denver beats that team. At the same time, I feel Seattle's more battle-tested. I think that the Los Angeles Rams are much better than any team that Seattle faced or that New England faced on the way in. So I think Seattle's a little more battle-tested. Now, to be fair, I actually did not lay the 4.5, Dylan. What I've been doing as a college basketball guy is I've been loading up these money lines. So I've already got 2 units because I'll pick like 3 or 4 favorites to bring Seattle down to even money on the money line. So I have a couple Seattle money line plays right now. So I'm pretty high on Seattle to build the game, to win the game. So one thing I think that we look at, especially when we're doing these props, And then, of course, our showdown builds is the different game scripts. And I think that's kind of what's fun about DFS is, for betting, you just kind of got to take a side, right? You either bet the Patriots or the Seahawks, right? And you live with it. For DFS, we can build the game scripts for both. We can build a New England wins the game script, and we can win a Seattle wins the game script. The one game script that I would avoid is a New England blowout. I don't think New England can blow Seattle out. I think Seattle could blow New England out. If you want to build a 5-1 Seahawks build, that's fine. I'm not personally building anyone 5-1 Patriots. So even my Seahawks or my Patriots win the Super Bowl builds are going to be 4-2. And the idea they're going to win a close game, 23-21, 27-24.
I mean, if you go based on past history, I think only one of the Patriots Super Bowls with Brady and Belichick was decided by double digit, and that was the 13-3 game in Atlanta. All the other games were one-score affairs.
Right, yeah, and that's why I'm trying to do that little money line trick because I'm afraid of that 4.5. I mean, 24-20 is completely plausible to me. 21-17, completely plausible. 28-24, these are all plausible scores where that New England plus 4.5, plus 5 gets home. The other thing I would say is if you do like the money line and you're not doing what I'm doing and you just want to bet it, if you like Seattle, I would wait. If you like New England, I would bet it now because I think a majority of the bettors will take Seattle minus 4.5 or minus 5. But if you like New England, you're going to play the money line, especially with the influx of casual money and people seeing that big payout, right? Because I think you can argue it's close to a 50-50 game. You're getting close to 2-1 for New England. So if you like the New England money line, bet it now. If you like Seattle money line, go ahead and wait. I think you'll get your best price on Sunday.
I think in a way, the best. If you got Seattle 3.5, that's the best anyone's going to do. I mean, is there a chance
4.5 again? I don't think it will. Let me look on Bookmaker right now. It was 4.5 when we did our show on Tuesday, and I saw that it was out to 5 as of yesterday. I didn't check the price today.
I've got it on the sportsbook on the DraftKings sportsbook right now, and it's Seattle minus 4.5.
I have 4.5 offshore on Bookmaker too, but it's a little bit juiced to the Seahawks, so it looks like it's going to touch 4 before it hits 5 again. You never know with these money moves, though.
What's your money line? Because I've got it Seattle minus 230.
I got minus 237 plus 204 on the comeback.
Wow. It surprises me.
Why?
That surprised me. I mean, Drake May's an MVP contender.
Yeah, but it's not a one-person game, right?
I mean, true, but okay. So, in terms of props,
and technically, Darnold was pretty close to MVP numbers too.
Well, when he played the Rams. When he was thrown interceptions against the Rams, excuse me. Thank you. I mean, Dalton was great, but it also helps when he's got maybe the best receiver in football.
Yeah, I mean, JSN's much better. All right, so Drake May had 4,394 passing yards, but Sam Darnold was at 4,048. Drake May had 31 touchdowns. Darnold was at 25. And Drake May had a 72% completion percentage compared to Sam Darnold's 67.7%. I think where the big difference is May has 450 rushing yards with 4 rushing TDs, while Darnold only had 95 rushing yards and 0 TDs. But to illustrate my point, obviously May had the better season, but it's not like Darnold's coming in only passing for 2,900 yards. I mean, he's pretty close statistically. Definitely, I don't know. I'd have to go definitely a top 10 season in the top 10, maybe in the top 5. I'd have to look at the whole numbers.
Okay, so props. What are your favorite? What is your? I mean, should we go?
All right, you ready?
Least favorite to best prop or the other way around? Do we go best
Let's
to
start with the
first?
best one. That way, people get bored of us. They can log off, and they'll already have the winners. Let's start with my favorite one here, Dylan, and that's Patriots Hunter Henry. You said it's up to over 41 receiving yards. I still like it. This year, he had an average of 45.2 yards per game. He was second on the team in target share at 18%, and he went over this number in 55% of his starts this season. In fact, the only reason it's so low is because he only had like 12 yards in that blizzard for the AFC Championship game. Seattle ranks 24th in the league in defending tight ends this season. They allowed over 1,000 yards to the position this year at a 72% catch rate. So I like Hunter Henry to go over his prop, and I think you're on the same.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Hunter Henry's one of my plays. I think if New England's going to win, Hunter Henry's got a big day. Patriots love feeding tight ends in the Super Bowl. And Hunter Henry, I think Hunter Henry, whether it be receptions or one of my favorite touchdown props, if you could get it. Hunter Henry plus 235 anytime touchdown.
That's a nice one too. Yeah. Obviously, that was one of Seattle's biggest weaknesses this year, but we know in the modern NFL, you can't cover everybody. And if you're going to give up plays to tight ends, that seems like it's far less explosive than giving up plays to wide receivers or running backs.
And I mean, Hunter Henry, he's really a matchup nightmare. I mean, the Chargers found. I think Hunter Henry scored the touchdown that wild card game.
Yeah, and I can't pronounce his name. It's like Eamon Wara. He's a rookie safety.
The rookie from South Carolina.
Yeah, we're hoping he's going to be in there, especially if you're loading up on the Seattle money line like I am. But if he's out, that's going to be an even bigger news for Hunter Henry.
Yeah, especially against a rookie safety. But, for me, get away from all the Hunter Henry line. Let me see if I could find one. Where are you? Wait. Where's the receiving prop? Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. I think Stephon Diggs in his first Super Bowl will get fed early and often. I think Steph Diggs will get fed early and often in this game. If you've got him particularly early in the game, first quarter, I think Diggs will be involved. I don't think Steph Diggs sees Witherspoon, the Pro Bowl corner. I think Diggs, being in the slot, sees more, avoids Witherspoon. I think Witherspoon will be on Keyshawn Boutte. So I think Diggs, particularly first quarter or just game total. I think his game total was 54 and a half yards. So
yeah,
I like Steph Diggs, particularly if he avoids Witherspoon.
Yeah, I can't argue there. It'll be interesting to see how they work that as far as, do you have an idea whether or not Seattle usually shadows? I could look it up real quick too. Do they just keep
I don't remember Seattle shadowing Puka a lot in the NFC title game, of course, but Puka was playing the slot, going all over the place. I don't know. Seattle. Some teams don't shadow corners. Some teams do.
This is from Sharp Football. Seattle's defense is elite versus wide receivers. They're number one versus all wide receiver targets, number one versus outside wide receivers, and number one versus deep shots to wide receivers. But they'll probably, that I think affects Boutte more than Diggs.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. And you probably know where my next one's going.
Let's hear it.
Let me see. Where is his total? I am going under on Keyshawn Boutte for the for the fact he may see a lot of Witherspoon, just like he saw a lot of Patrick Surtain in the AFC Championship game. I think if New England wins, it's to Henry and Diggs.
All right, you're liking Henry and Diggs. Would you like me to tell you my favorite Patriot for props?
Yes.
So you watched my draft shows all summer, right? Guess where I'm going?
Are you going back? Are you living or dying on Travian Henderson?
How did you know? Thank you for setting me up there. We are targeting one of our favorite players. He led the Patriots during the regular season with 911 rushing yards, and he had 5.1 yards per carry. During the regular season, he averaged 53.6 yards per game. His total is only 18.5. He had 18 runs over 10 yards. If he hit his 5.1 yards per carry average, he only needs 5 carries. He only needs 4 carries to hit it. And he's gone over 5 carries in 14 of the 17 regular season games. Now, I know he's being phased out, which I don't even get. But number one, Seattle's defense is really stout up the middle. And number two, I can get this with only 1 run. I don't need a ton of usage to get there. So I went over Travion Henderson over, was it 17 or 18? 18.5 rushing yards.
Boy, you got what number did you get? Oh, I see.
I bet all these on Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so.
Where is it at now?
19 plus would be minus 116 if you want Travian plus yards. So, I mean, I can see it. I mean, if Ramondre Stevenson fumbles, the only problem is Ramondre played over 4 snaps.
Yeah, and after that Pittsburgh Steelers game, Tyler pointed out he didn't really fumble that much. We just remember the fumbling because he essentially lost the game against Pittsburgh with those 2 goal line fumbles, right? He basically handed them the game. But since then, I think he only had 1 fumble for the whole rest of the season, and that happened in like week 4.
I mean, in these games, coaches trust fewer and fewer players, and for whatever reason, the Patriots don't trust Henderson. Plus, I don't think Henderson's looked what I thought he did, what I thought he was as a running back at Ohio State this year. I mean, yeah, there have been a couple moments, the big runs against Buffalo, but Traven's not looked like what I remember him in college.
Why do you say that? I think his real issue is that he can't block, so Vrabel's not giving him opportunities. When he gets opportunities, like I said, 5.1 yards per carry, he's taking advantage of his opportunities.
Well, true, but you know what? If you don't block, you don't play.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm worried about. You know, like I said, he needs 4 carries. Let's see if he even gets that. I think he had, what did he have? 3 in the AFC Championship game?
Yeah, like 3. Yeah, like four plays on the field. Ramondre was basically in the Patriot backfield the whole game.
Yeah, I think once they see how hard that defense is to run against, though, I think they'll try and.
And I'm thinking maybe if it's a game when the Patriots are down, Travian receiving prop wouldn't be the worst idea. Or maybe if he hits one, like Henderson could
I like receiving yards better.
Let me see if I could get receiving. Receiving prop is for Henderson, it's 11. So he could do that on 1 catch.
Yeah. So those are interesting ways. I like kind of going for those smaller ones, though, because all it takes is 1 play, you know?
Yeah. Are you betting anything when it comes to Jackson Smith and Jigba?
No, I have not. I did see, who was it, though, in the chat? I'm not reading that name.
Kneecap biting with Motor City. That'd be one of my
That's people. A reference to who? To coach this. Oh, it's a Danny Campbell. never mind. Anyways, I do like if I were to bet a JSN prop, it would only be anytime TD. I think his receiving yards is too high. It's in the 90s. I mean, that's fine if you want to bet it, but I don't see this huge edge there.
Yeah, and I don't think so. I don't
if you
think
want
so.
to do something with JSN, I would go either receptions or I would go anytime touchdown or first touchdown.
Yeah, I think first touchdown would be the way I go, because even just anytime touchdown, it's minus 110. So
yeah,
that's what I would do. Maybe first touchdown. Maybe I don't even think I'd do 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker. I mean, if you think Seattle gets ahead, I would think Kenneth Walker's involved somewhere.
His numbers are pretty high too, though. His anytime
Minus
touchdown
195.
minus 185.
I got 195.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's going to just keep going up because everyone's going to continue to bet it. That's fine. I kind of like, if I'm attacking props, I'm going once again to the backup, George Halani here. Over 1.5 receptions. He had 3 receptions on 4 targets in the NFC Championship game, and I think he's going to continue to slide into that Charbonnet role to spell Walker a little bit. So I took over 1.5 receptions with George Halani.
I don't think that's crazy. I mean, and if Kenneth Walker fumbles or gets hurt, then it's George Halani's backfield.
Yeah, and I don't think he's that bad. Like, I think he's an okay runner. I mean, obviously Charbonnet's better, but I don't think he's that bad. It's not like he's just a terrible runner.
You know what's weird? The Seahawks and Patriots both have the same weakness. The offensive line is okay. Could it be a situation where?
I mean, the thing is, these guys don't practice. All the offensive lines have issues.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, other than maybe your Raiders offensive line when Colton Miller ever plays, but hey, you beat the Patriots week 1. I don't know how that happened.
I know. How did that happen? I remember I was so happy about my team. I thought that we'd turn things around. Pete was going to create a winner. Geno Smith was going to be a top 15 guy and be a good guy in best ball. And then it turned out okay, though, because I'm happy getting Kubiak and Mendoza. So, you know, it ended up being – and it's almost like I'm a Kings fan. It's going to be the same thing for the Sacramento Kings. They, like, try to win, and they still suck. So maybe my teams will finally be good.
Well, I mean, you could tell who my NFL team is just based on the picture, right?
Hold on, let me go full screen. The Jaguars?
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys are my inspiration because you get the young offensive minded head coach, and then all of a sudden you turn things around and your quarterback play is good. So I'm hoping the Jaguars like turnaround. And as a fan of Tony Khan, right, in AEW, we got to root for the Jaguars.
Thanks for the comments, Sleepy Boy. I have faith in Trevor. He's a good quarterback. Yeah, with Liam Cohen, he is. Not with he who shall not be named in this household. And I've met him twice. Not Liam with Trevor, but Trevor's first coach in the NFL. Yeah. And by the way, I think you're going to like Mendoza, assuming the Raiders take him.
They're taking him. Anything that's not is clickbait. There's no way. There's no way.
I mean, Tom Brady's taking Fernando Mendoza, right?
What's up?
Tom Brady's taking Fernando Mendoza, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason an article would come out that they're not would just be because these guys got to put out an article every single day. They don't know what to write. So what other props are you on?
Let me see. I'm on the under with Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Oh, you are? Yeah, I thought his number was too high.
I think Jackson's. I know what happened when Jason last played against Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez when he got like over 100 yards. But you give New England 2 weeks. I think Gonzalez is on JSN, not the whole game, but quite a bit of the game.
All right. Well, it's brave to take an under, but the only thing I would say, if you haven't betted, I would wait. I think the number's just going to keep going up.
Yeah.
Like I'm on the West Coast. I would bet it like Sunday at noon. On the East Coast, Sunday at 3 p.m. Because
doing the puppy,
like that Hunter Henry, it's just going to keep going up.
Do it during the Puppy Bowl, right?
Yeah, I guess so, huh? I'll probably be watching some college basketball at that point. Looking for a team to parlay with the Seahawks one more time.
Yeah, only problem is North Carolina, as Duke and North Carolina play on Saturday night. Maybe you do that, or maybe you parlay with the USC fight. So what do you think about the quarterbacks in this game? I mean, do you have any props regarding either quarterback?
I did not bet any props for any quarterback, but just off the top of my head, obviously I like Drake May rushing yards. I also would like under on both their passing yards. I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair, which is why I'm afraid to lay the points. So I think it's going to be a conservative game plan, a lot of rushing. And I think if you bet under on both, you'll most likely split, but there's a chance you could sweep it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Drake May rushing yards is probably the way I would go based on how the Patriots use his legs in the AFC Championship game. I mean, Sam can run if need be, but I'm not sure the Seahawks want Sam Darnold.
90 rushing yards this season. I wouldn't expect it.
Let me see if I can. Let me see. Is there? Let me see if there is. There might be one I can look up. Aha! There we go. Yeah. You know what? Maybe if you're feeling frisky, maybe Sam Darnold over interceptions.
I like the interceptions for both. Drake May's had plenty of turnovers too.
Yeah. Maybe. What's the over on Drake May fumbles? There will be at least one ball in the ground.
I don't know what that is, but speaking of ways to get to Drake May, we forgot about it. I took over 3.5 at plus 110 defensive sacks by the Seahawks. You talked about how much Drake May before the show got sacked during the playoffs, but why don't you tell all the viewers right now, because I think that's a really compelling case for my over 3.5 sacks by the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, in each of New England's 3 playoff games this year, Drake May's been sacked 5 times. 15 sacks. And I hear Seattle's got somebody by the name of DeMarcus Lawrence. Pretty good.
Yeah, I bet him over 0.5 as well.
You could do worse than DeMarcus Lawrence sack total.
Yeah, I like those sack props. I was even thinking of some of the other guys too, because they're a bigger payout.
I don't know if Nevada would have it, but I know in Florida we just got the pick 6 going, where you can have you can make maybe not just prop bets, but you can make
California, Nevada, you cannot though.
Okay, that's weird. And DraftKings been having promos this week. It's over under a half a receiving yard for JSN. So let me see what are the numbers. I mean, Hunter Henry's at 39.5 receiving yards. Let me see. Oh, I do like Travian at 3.5. Where are all the receptions? Gosh. Dang. 60. Rushing receiving yards. 100.5 Kenneth Walker rushing receiving or total yards. What do you think?
On which one, Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, I don't know.
More than JSN.
Let me see. First touchdown. Yeah. I mean, there were just so many ways, so many props to that you could spend 5 hours on it and literally make so many bets your wife would probably kill you.
Gone through.
Yeah. You blow through credit card bill. Or maybe, if you're lucky enough, you win $5 grand.
Yeah, you never know.
I mean, I'm trying to think, what's the over on the Super Bowl? It's like
45.5.
Say it again.
The over total is 45.5.
Is that juice to the over or under?
Let me double check. Even 45.5.
Okay.
Even. Yeah.
Let me see if I can get. Is there one on the? Let me see. First quarter. What would be the over under first quarter? No. I don't want you. I want. Oh, there. That's what I want. First quarter. Over under 7.5.
I like under there.
Yeah, New England. Funny thing about the Patriots in the Super Bowls, the Patriots do not score points in the first quarter much at all.
One thing that I worry about that though is this is a completely different team now. I mean, I guess the only thing is McDaniels. So yeah, I guess never mind.
Maybe we're confusing because we think this is so similar because Brady was in his second year, Drake May's in his second year.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels.
I'll tell you what, that Rams team was way better, at least in my mind at the time, than Seattle is. If I remember right, the Rams were 14-point favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kurt Warner was a 2-time NFL MVP. Marshall Faulk was a Hall of Fame running back. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Ricky Pearl.
My guys.
Orlando Pace, Hall of Fame tackle. Yeah. And Lovie Smith played a prevent defense, and we all know what happened the last drive, but that's either near or there.
Yeah.
And I remember even John Madden saying during the broadcast, you have to play for overtime. I mean, looking back on it, you wonder. I don't think you go to overtime with the Rams, especially when first team to score wins in that era. Yeah. I'm not going to overtime with those guys on that turf. I mean, would you even try guessing like how long the anthem would be, or like what color Gatorade?
No, that market's dead because what happens is somebody sneaks an insider into the rehearsal, the insider times the rehearsal, then they leak the information. But with all these prediction markets like Kalshi and everything, I can't imagine there being an edge by the time you got the info. I think everybody's into it, you know.
Yeah, or poly market, it's like, yeah, I don't think I would do that.
Yeah.
Maybe yeah, I think at that point you better. I mean, if we're looking at how long the halftime show it is, or how many songs Bad Bunny sings, I'm like, you've got better idea. I have better ideas to wager my money. I mean, do you see a situation where neither quarterback wins the MVP?
Yes.
How?
Christian Gonzalez gets two interceptions, or
That would be
any player that gets 2 interceptions is in the running. If Kenneth Walker gets over 100 yards rushing and over 75 yards receiving with multiple touchdowns, if JSN goes for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns, Stephon Diggs, I mean, name your player. I think it's possible. This isn't a Mahomes deal where they're just going to give it to him no matter what. Neither of these quarterbacks are that heralded, and for whatever reason, people don't want to give Darnold credit. I would not be surprised if, in a 50-50 situation, they went away from Darnold.
I mean, the way that the NFL writers are voting for the Hall of Fame, Lord knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't even know who votes for the MVP. I don't bet MVP as much as other people.
Yeah.
I'm not as much
like MVP, although to be honest with you right now, I don't think any of the candidates would be bad, but I think we have an idea of who's going to win it tonight.
Yeah.
And it's the guy in LA.
Who's that?
Stafford.
Oh, yeah. Do you think he's coming back next year?
Yes. I think Stafford comes back for 1 year, and the Rams go all in and give Stafford whatever he needs, because you know where the Super Bowl is?
LA.
That would be a Hollywood ending. Hey, it would be better than having the Super Bowl in Melbourne, Australia. Did you hear the Rams are going to Australia this year? What in the world is going on?
Are they playing the 49ers there? I saw
Yeah.
the 49ers are going. That's gonna mess them up, dude. That's a hard trip to recover from. In fact, when I bet tennis a lot, and I love to bet the players coming off that Australian Open trip against players that didn't go, because it's so far different on the time zone. Like Europe is like one thing, especially if you're in New York, it's 4 hours different? 5. I mean, Australia is like a whole different day. So we'll see how that turns out. I think the scheduling is getting kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were way too many international games, but that's just me.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I mean, and that's coming from a guy whose teams goes to London every year.
Yeah.
And when we played the Rams this year, LA kicked all sorry butts with that 3 tight end. But Sean McVay's, I'll admit, Sean McVay is probably the best coach in the world right now, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do like your coach, Clint Kubiak. Why the Texans got rid of him, but assuming he's your new head coach, but we know. It'll be Kyle Shanahan 2.0, right?
I hope so. I mean, I always do this every year where I get too excited.
Okay, so now, I mean, we've talked props. I think we should talk Super Bowl showdown, because there's a lot of money at stake. A lot of money. I mean, you know how many, it's a last chance to play NFL DFS in terms of a single game slate for months. I mean, then we'll be focused more on best ball, so forget about it. So I'm looking at the So looking at the contest structure of $4.5 million Super Bowl maker, the Mega Millionaires $3 million, the Wildcats $1 million, Flea Flickers $500K, 10,000. A 10 chain mover, play action, Discord. Too many showdowns to count, but the one that everybody wants to win 4.5 million the top. So it's what, 22.5%. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, any chance you would play the Millie Maker?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Of course I'm going to.
How many are you playing? Are you planning on playing?
I'll just hand build a couple.
Yeah. That's one thing. I think if you really wanted to try and win, I'd probably put in 50, but that's a grand. I mean, that would mean if you put in 50, then you have to finish.
I want to put 50 in the Millie Maker. If I put a grand into it, I'd be attacking those small contests we talked about earlier, where you can play the chalk.
And I mean, what's your lineup strategy? I mean, what would be your lineup strategy that you would employ if you're entering umpteen lineups in a Millie Maker? Like this.
Say it one more time.
What would be your lineup strategy if you're entering?
Let's do two. Let's do a Seahawks win and let's do a Patriots win.
Okay.
All right, so let's start it. You're big on the Patriots winning. Let's start with that script. The Patriots are the upset. The plus 204 on the money line hits. They're ready to go. How does this work? Drake May captain? Does that seem too obvious?
Be honest, when I play Showdown, I'm not really a big quarterback captain, especially if I'm doing more than one lineup. I feel like people think, oh wait, I get 1.5 times the points, so I basically get 6 points of pass and touchdown. But if Drake May Drake May could run for 3 touchdowns, but generally, if Drake May puts together a big day, somebody's going to be catching a whole lot of passes. So,
you want to start with Diggs?
Huh?
You want to start with Diggs then in the captain spot?
I don't hate that idea, and I will put Drake May in the flex. So we have 26 grand.
All right. Who are we running it back with on the Seattle side? Kenneth Walker, right?
That would be
All right.
Now the fun. Do we go
and then just put 2 more Patriots in there?
Yeah, but do we go Ramondre or do we basically go? I mean, Traven's 38, Matt Collins 36, Pop Douglas is 32, Borgalis is 5 grand. I mean, we could go Borgalis, Henderson, or Matt Collins, and then we're left with like 6. Or we could go Hunter Henry, and then go.
Yeah, let's go Hunter Henry,
and then go Henderson or Matt Collins, and then end up 5-1 Patriot build and have 700. So, what do you think about that?
I don't hate that. I might want to mix one more Seahawk in though. I don't think it's gonna be like 37-3 Patriots.
Then Shaheed.
I kind of like Shaheed.
I mean, that's not the craziest idea. I mean, fading JSN, but it's
if we talked about it, you're gonna have to make a stand if you're in that deal, and if you fade JSN, you can just play all the other chalky plays you want.
Yeah,
and in there.
And who's to say it's one of those games where New England decides, you know what, you're not beating us. We're going to give up rushing yards, receiving yards to Kenneth Walker, Shaheed, but JSN, you are not beating us.
Yeah.
And Borgalis, I mean,
many teams have tried that so far this year, and it hasn't seemed to work.
I know my team did that and failed against JSN because I think we played them week 6 and he put up 33 on us. gosh. And I think most of those came in one half.
Yeah.
40. He had 30. Yeah, he had 34 in the NFC title game. So now we did a Patriot onslaught. What would a Seahawk onslaught be?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to have JSN in this one, but let's do. Do we want to go crazy at captain or just go Kenneth Walker?
Kenneth Walker. I mean, we could do Kenneth Walker and then try the crazy idea. So Kenneth Walker at captain.
Let's go Kenneth Walker, JSN, and now we're already gonna have to dumpster dive. So you know I like Holani. I think we need to always run it back with Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
What do we have left?
7150.
That's not bad. I'd say if we're running the Seahawks build, let's put the Seahawks defense in there and then see where we land.
Then we have 99.
Oh, that's awesome. That's not that bad at all. You can throw your guy Diggs in there. Or Ramondre.
And
I
then
actually like this lineup a lot. Now the issue is we have 0 quarterbacks.
I mean, if it's a 13-3, if it's a 13-3 game when the Seahawks are just hammering Drake May, it's not the worst idea. If it's one of those 13-3 games, I mean, I'm not saying I would captain the Seahawks defense, but New England's weakness is the offensive line.
Yeah, I like this lineup that we're going a lot. I kind of like. So we talked about it. If you're building a Patriots lineup game or Patriots win game script, fade JSN. I like on the Seahawks win game script, we're just fading the quarterbacks altogether.
And what's the crazy lineup you're thinking?
Like a crazy one. Let's see what happens. We both like Hunter Henry. Let's throw him in our captain.
And then
do you want to get really crazy though? But we're going to build it as a Seahawks game build. So we should have money. Let's put our 3 big dogs in there. Let's go JSN, Darnold, and Walker. Now where are we?
3650.
Total?
A guy.
Oh, okay. Seahawks defense, and then where do we land?
Then we have 2900.
Holani.
That would be basically Seattle onslaught and Hunter Henry. He does his best.
That's like a 24-7 win, and Henry gets 60 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, that'd be like Hunter Henry. Who was the chief receiver in last year's Super Bowl? I can't think of his name.
Who?
The rookie from Texas.
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, it'd be like when Xavier Worthy scored those touchdowns in garbage time.
Yeah, right. And I was barely paying attention. I'm like, no way.
And otherwise I wouldn't have broke even because of the game. I ended up winning money, I think, from the Super Bowl. So different kind of strategy. But if for those of us who don't want to max the
here, break that down real quick. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay. And you have the Jeopardy music on here. Let me see. Fair catch. No, but let me see if I could do 3 to 10. Yeah, that's what I want. Just figuring out what we're gonna talk next. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea. So pylon. Yeah. Oh, you're back?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, so for those of us who don't want to play the Millie Maker but still want to play, what are your favorite contests that you would want to enter?
Let me pull it up real quick. Am I going to be able to? Phone. Let me see if I can. So where I'm at, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I live on 10 acres, and because there's no other Wi-Fi around me, and I use Starlink, it won't ever verify my location. I gotta do it on my phone. It won't let me do it on my computer.
Well, you could just. Well, I'll just show you. You could do it using me.
I'll just check here real quick. I'll just look real quick. I've looked at it before. Just let me remind myself. I like the NFL Showdown 100K huddle. That's a single entry for $5.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
I like
structure.
That's $12 single entry. One of them only has 9,800 people. The other one only has 4,900.
The fair catch thing.
Are the huddle and the fair catch.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Let me see. I think I've already entered a couple of mine that I like. I like the 10K and the 30K single entry pylon because more than 25% in the field would get paid. If you get 10th, it's 1/10 of what first place gets. And I like the price structure in the single entry. Let me see. I think there's a $5. Yeah, I think there's a $5 nickel. Excuse me, not nickel, but what is the triple? I think triple option. That's a good price. That's a good price structure too. It's five entries, $5 a piece, and you can win 1,500. I think there's all kinds of entries. I mean, any chance you would do the 20K 800 play action?
Yeah, there's a chance. It's not my favorite one though. I mean, that's almost like the Millie Maker, right? With how many people are in it.
I mean, 317,000, and the Millie Maker's
a million.
264,000.
That one's even harder.
Wow! Wow! There are more people. There are more entries in the play action than in the Millie Maker.
Yeah.
Of course, it's 60. Of course, he maxes only $60 compared to $3,000. Yeah, like there's no way I would max like the chain mover, the flea flicker, the wildcat, I mean maybe the wait, let me see this one. I mean there's a 20K first down where it's 7,500 first. Don't hate the price structure there. But we need the nuts to win, right?
Yeah, on those. That's why I kind of like those single entry ones or the smaller entry ones that we talked about a little more.
Yeah, I think there's some 3 maxes. Plus, you don't need you need the nuts to win the Millie Maker. You don't need the nuts to win some of these other ones. Plus, there's $100 single entry, $12, $5. There's more than enough single entries. I'm sure. I was just thinking, are you going to enter the Thunderdome contest where it's
Which one?
5,300 apiece?
No, no, not this year. But good luck if you do that.
I know a couple of people who might be entering that contest. Let me see if I can. Yeah, yeah. There's only one guy I sort of know. Yeah, I don't think there's any way I'm entering the Thunderdome, even with unless I have a million. I mean, I have a feeling of who's going to max the 4,044 Mega Million. That'd be the contest. Who's the guy on Stochastic? Awesome will win. That'd be the one Awesome will win, right?
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, and just get another mansion or another call, right? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money, but of course, gamble wisely. Wisely, of course, if you're one of us, maybe it's funny. Funny, you and I have not spoken in person since one of us won 15 grand in best ball.
Yeah, and that was you, not me.
How much? How much did Tyler end up winning? Oh, not winning.
Not much. We had two second week teams out of 20, maybe.
I think
We
I
had 5 advance and then 2 advance the week after that, and then we were both dead by the end of the second round of the playoffs.
I had I think 31 million maker teams, and like one of my training camp teams. I think that was the training camp. One of the training camp teams I did with you and a play axe and another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then my Millie Maker team from week 16 made it because that was the week Trevor went bananas against the Broncos. And I ended up getting 15 grand. I think it was 72nd. I got 15 grand, and I didn't believe it.
Well, congratulations, and hopefully we can do it again next summer, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and I was hoping for Brent, and I was dead with tight ends. I mean, like Brendan Strange did nothing. Mark Andrews was a no-show, and I think the David Sanders was hurt. But Derrick Henry. I found out Derrick Henry's really good in December, right?
I know, huh?
And I'll actually show you that. I'll show you that team when we're. I'll show you that team off air when we're done. So, any advice for anyone looking to make a difference, whether to have fun, and like, what would be your advice if anyone's thinking about making some props or maybe entering 1 or 2 showdown?
All right, we already gave out our props earlier, but my major advice is if you like an over, bet it right now. Like right now. If you like an under, wait until Sunday. The buyback's not going to start until about 3.5 hours before the Super Bowl. So for me, I'm on the West Coast. I would bet all my unders Sunday around noon. For the showdown lineups, if you're in a big contest, you better get crazy. You better get different. If you're playing the single entries, and I prefer that style more, go ahead, get chalky. Just play your exact favorite build and don't worry about what everyone else is on.
Yeah, and I'd also think if you're thinking of really wanting the Millie Maker and think I'm better off entering 5 lamps in the Millie Maker, instead of entering the Millie Maker, maybe go try the 20 max. Maybe go try the single entries.
I would go try like the 3 max and the single entries for that much money.
Yeah, I think you're better.
I think you're
because those contests, if I put 5 lamps in the Millie Maker, and let's just say everybody, all the pros have 150. My ROI is going to be a lot lower than guys with 30 times the entries I do.
Yeah. So yep, that is my advice for you guys.
And I bet you your coworkers at Fanspeak would concur, right? Because I mean, Megan's probably a little mad she can't do more tiers for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah,
Because
no,
she and
and
I
she
would do
was the one that turned me on to it. The first year we just blasted the Best Ball Mania and the Millie Maker, and then we just got crushed because of the advance rates. And she was the one that really just said, "Hey, treat this like poker. Poker. You learn how to play poker, but then one of the best things you learn is table selection, right? I don't want to sit down with a bunch of sharks. I need to do good table selection." She's kind of confirmed that with contest selection. So I'm pretty happy to mimic her advice and try and look for, obviously here we don't have advance rates, but check the payout structures and go against the smaller field. I mean, like you said, you have to literally hit the optimal lineup. The very best line to win the Millie Maker is going to be the very best lineup possible.
And even then, soloing a Millie Maker, you've got a better chance winning the Powerball and Mega Millions than soloing a Millie Maker.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If JSN puts up 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, guess how many people are going to have him in the captain spot? Probably a lot of people. And if JSN does that, Sam Darnold's going to have a half decent day too.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't help. Maybe a 2%, Matt Collins going ballistic might be the difference.
Yeah, that's why if you play Millie Maker, you got to captain Hunter Henry, you got to captain Matt Collins, you got to captain George Holani, you got to captain Travion Henderson.
I'm not saying I would captain George Holani, but
hey, I mean,
I'm not captaining Trader George.
Yeah, all right. Maybe that was a little bit too far, but you understand my point.
By the way, I was just wondering, let's just say you played 20 lineups. How many would you captain quarterback?
In single entries, 6. In Millie Maker, 0.
I think oh, that's more than I would do. I wouldn't captain my quarterback 30% of the time. I think if I'm doing a 20, I might do 1 each, but I don't think I would do more. Mm-hmm. If I'm doing a Millie Maker, I might do 5-10%, if that. Probably like 3-5%, but not much. That's just me.
All right. Well, I'm excited for the game this Sunday. Do you have any final thoughts about the Super Bowl? Anything that I failed to bring up that you wanted to get out there for everybody?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game. We've got a great storyline no matter who wins. Either Drake May is going to become the second youngest quarterback to start a Super Bowl, or Sam Darnold's going to become the first guy to play for 5 teams and win a Super Bowl in the Senate.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that it's Sam Darnold making the ascension this week, but we'll find out this Sunday.
Do it for all the redheads in North America, right?
Yeah, he's got to do it for the Gingers, right? After South Park was so upset at them, now. And
by the way, you won't believe this, but Sam Darnold's the first quarterback from the University of Southern California to start a Super Bowl.
I will believe that. They've had terrible quarterbacks. When I grew up, they was called running back U. They were all about the run game down there in SC. Well, not anymore. I don't even know what they're about now, but
yeah, I mean, you think of O.J. Simpson, you think Marcus Allen, Reggie Bush, Lindell White. I don't know if Penn State would still have USC and running backs, but
Now they're good. All time, I don't know though.
Phew. Yeah, you're a little older than me, so you probably remember when Marcus Allen played. And by the way, the Baltimore Colts didn't take Marcus Allen in the '81 draft. They took Arch Leester.
That's a good memory. Okay, I didn't remember that. That's good knowledge right there.
Hey, by the way, the LA Raiders took a long snapper over Herschel Walker in the USFL supplemental draft.
I did not know that.
Then the next year you got both guys.
Play.
I think linebacker / long snapper. And you could have drafted Herschel Walker in the USFL supplemental draft.
Wow.
Okay, Spread. So thanks for hopping on. We wish you.
Yeah, this is fun. We're gonna have to do some best ball content here after the big game.
Oh yeah, training camp, and then
reach out to me and we'll run this back, dude. Because we had a good show last year, and I think it's gonna be even better this year.
Oh wait.
Is he talking about you, Dylan?
It's definitely not me.
Maybe you're the boyfriend in question.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not going down that road again. There are way too many criminal cases happening. Not involving me. Thank goodness. Okay, Spread. Thanks for hopping on, and we wish you and everybody in Fanspeak well, and hopefully one of us will be making it rain.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Dylan.